chasing every little light. Brother trying hard to feed the home. Still strong though he walks alone. Every star that I keep on meaning. Every soul that believes in dreaming. No matter where you come from today, your story can open the way. It's less about the car. It's more of who you are. It's less about the car. It's more of who you are. One car, many stories, many lives, many glories. For the love of us, Uganda, changing lives across the border. One car, many stories. Moment, your story. Speak your truth and take your chance. This could be a winning dance. One car, many stories, many lives, many glories. For the love of us, Uganda, changing lives across the border. One car, many stories. Your moment, your story. Speak your truth and take your chance. This could be a winning dance. It's less about the car. It's more of who you are. It's less about the car. It's more of who you are. Wano wa musiru mama mwasibye mutya omusajja wano wa musiru kyavaina nteliri ati for the love of cause Uganda, one dream, one key, one life, changing moment. Hi guys, how you doing today? I hope your evening is good and that you had a good day. Eno Kawagama, good evening. Panga Godfrey, Muyombia Mark Chamba de Hannington VIP, Martin Sentongo, King Daniel VIP, Obede Dinyo Yogurita, Ijika Blair VIP, Osi Pankunda, King Daniel VIP, Council Patrick Asiku, Mugambe Nasif, Basic Chris, Moanguzi David, Balvids. Arthur, what did you do today? Well, today I didn't actually take a break. I'm by the FX bot. Richard Aki VIP. I was troubleshooting. The troubleshooting I'm trying to do hasn't worked out, but I was trying to troubleshoot today. I hope it will work out by probably tomorrow evening. But I was trying to troubleshoot and it hasn't really worked out. But I am good. I am happy. One thing, guys, that I learned. So I have 2 inspection stories to share. There could be more, but I have 2 stories to share. But before I share them, guys, is there something Hussein Ali? Hi, how are you? Baron Pudan, hi. Obadielio. Ateno John Jerome, hi. So guys, I realized something last week. Something that that probably a lot of you guys could have realized, or some of you guys are leaving the realization that I made. I snapped out of the realization, but now I've been talking to some guys. My kids for a very long time were asking me to take them to a hotel. You know how a kid asks for something? So my kids for a very long time were asking me, Daddy, take us to a hotel, take us to a hotel, take us to a hotel. So one day last week, was it this week? Last week, I took them to a hotel for one night. I paid a premium price. I took them to a very nice hotel. So we went as a family and slept at a hotel. And they were happy. They were really happy. I could only afford one night because I collected the money for a very long time, because I didn't want to take them to just any hotel. So I paid a very high price.
Yeah, I think I paid about 1 million shillings for one night. I took them in the morning, checked them in. I had an inspection that day. I checked them in with their mom. I left. I went, did my inspections, and I went back to them at night. I think I got to them at around 8 p.m., took them for a movie. Then we went back to the hotel and we slept. So during when I was doing my inspection, they went swimming, and yeah, so they had a good time that day. And the next morning we were there up to around 2 p.m. when we checked out. I still wasn't with them when they checked out. So in the morning, I went, had breakfast. I called them. I left them when they're having breakfast, and I left. And I think at 2 p.m. they checked out. They came for me at the office, and then we went home. They did not want to leave the hotel. It was a very nice hotel. So now, one, you guys, especially the men, quote money. One time every year, take your kids to some place that is really expensive just for them to experience it. I think my kids were hearing other kids talk about the things they do during the holiday and stuff like that. And they, like, for a year, they were asking me to just take them to a hotel. So when the time came for me to take them to a hotel, I didn't want to take them to just any small places. I wanted to take them to a real hotel. So I took them to a real hotel. I went to some of the hotels that you would think are hotels, and they were not hygienic. They didn't look like the hotels I went to when I was in Europe. Yeah. So I wanted to take them to a hotel that I won't say the name Vilgax, but just know I took them to a hotel that is an actual hotel. And I've been to hotels all over Europe. I've been to Spain, I've been to Norway, I've been to Denmark, I've been to Switzerland, I've been to Sweden, I've been to, I think France is the one place I've not slept to in a hotel. I've been to Brazil, and in Brazil, I was sleeping at a hotel at a beach. So I've been to California, I've been to London, I've been to Birmingham, so many, I've forgotten. Just know I've been to so many places. And in all those places, I was sleeping at really nice places. But there's a place I went to, a 5-star hotel, and I was getting 5-star treatment. It wasn't Serena. Serena is traditional. I didn't go to any of those traditional hotels. I went to some of the nicest hotels, new hotels, nicest, like top notch. Just know. So when we went to the hotel, they had a very good experience. They didn't even want to leave. And trust me, I've made my kids' bedroom a very nice bedroom. You get, I made them a very nice bedroom. But when they go to a hotel, the hotel just has fluffy beds, like fluffier beds. They have very nice beds. So I've tried to make their hotel, their room nice. And when I ask them, what can I do to make your room feel like the hotel where you slept, they cannot mention anything, because they look at their room, they think they remember the hotel room. And I think, you know, I think the thing with the hotels is that they have carpets instead of tiles. Yeah. Almost everything that was at the hotel they have in their room, apart from a TV. And I told them, you can't get a TV in your room. If you want to watch TV, you go to the sitting room. You get. Now, the point is not about the kids. The hotel I went to is better than Mestil, and I've been to Mestil. Mestil has a brand, but Mestil is cheaper than the hotel I went to. So Kat Vilgax or Teged, the kind of place I went. Mestil has a brand, Mestil is cheaper. Probably it's cheaper because of location. I also wanted a place that was nearer for me to work. So anyway, it's not about the kids. The kids had fun, their mom had fun. And I also, there's a time I interviewed a guy on Chimeza. You remember the guy that owns a hotel in Nansana. He's called Matthew. You also remember there is a time during the interview he did mention that the women that have extramarital affairs, some of them have extramarital affairs because guys that vibe them take them to these really expensive hotels, places that they have never been to, showers, nice places. And of course, when we are talking with Mama Aban, she was saying, but by the time your woman goes to a hotel with another man, she knows why she has gone there. So that's just an excuse. that people will give ntibang itwantwalangako before webiti, but she had a very good experience. Now this, I'm sharing my experience not for the kids or for Mama Aban or for me. I've been to those hotels. I know at the end of the day it's really not that big a deal. But sorry guys, network keeps taking us away. Are we back? I want to continue with the reason why I'm sharing that experience. I've been collecting that. My kids were asking me to take them to a hotel for a year. So for a year you can collect money. Are we back? Why I'm sharing that experience. Ngene maso. Sigenda kuvuga main jam shwa deal jali lero lwa Sunday. Ngene maso bantu bange. Ngene maso. So anyway, when we were at that hotel, I did go to their gym. Their gym has the same amount of equipment I have in my bedroom, so they don't have a gym. They have my equipment. But I worked out still. And I think I slept at about 1 a.m. because when I got there at around 8, we went to a movie, came back home at around 11, and then at 11 I went to the gym. I think I slept at around 1 because I enjoy, like when I go to places like that, I really want to experience that. But the beeping sound is my parking sensors. There's a time nalinja size tala lyange mu parking eyo underground kati nakunoka parking sensor manyoka lekako. So anyway, why am I sharing the experience of the hotel? And guys, please don't drive my conversation to a place where I don't want to drive it. Yeah, I'm trying to share my experience as honestly as possible. Okay, my experience in that hotel, you know, on Twitter for a couple of days, people have been roasting Amos Wekesa. Some of the posts they are roasting him for are not really his. But people have been roasting Amos Wekesa. You know Amos Wekesa, the tour mogul in Uganda. Did one of us survive the Fidelity Forest Cup? Me, have not. So people have been roasting Amos Wekesa. They are saying Amos Wekesa does not care about what is happening in Uganda. Yeah. And they are roasting a number of rich people. When a rich person gets into problems, they will come out and say, you don't care about what is happening to us, what is happening in our country. You get when Elias Lukwago was arrested, or when he was abducted, or when he was taken in a very bad way, and he was manhandled. His wife came and at a press conference, he was telling people to egate to Rwanirire, you get. And people were telling her in the comments that when other people are suffering, you are not with us. I hope you guys are getting where I want you to just follow me. Huh? Don't try please to take this out of context. Now, and when normally when someone kucharu that is assumably doing very well gets a problem, and probably abadabera in his own world, when he gets a problem, normally the people that are under him or not doing as well as him or her, then during that crisis, people will come out and mock him. Guys, that sound is because of the stones, yeah? So they mock him, and stuff like that. Now, while I was at that hotel, there is something I experienced that will change your perspective when you go to things like that. I'm yet to see a hotel in Uganda worthy of 5 stars. They are not 5 stars, but trust me, there are some good hotels. And when I went to this hotel, one of the experience I got was that the receptionist didn't even want to attend to me. There were Bazungu there. So I think they were thinking, oh, center Azijjawa, no. Azijjawa. But eventually I told the woman, take me, and I look at the room, at the rooms. She took me and I said, let's go down and I pay, because I had collected my money for some time. So anyway, today we experience young. While I was at this hotel, we assume they don't care about what is happening in this country. Like the people that have a lot of money, or the people that have things going very well for them, I realized why they seem to not care about what is going wrong in the country. I saw when you are in that, you guys, each one of you guys should, in Uganda here, after you have been in Uganda for more than 6 months, and you can afford to just go to this really nice place, not a beach, yeah, not a club, not a bar, go to a very nice hotel. While you are at places like that, nange ndarabe 3-star guest house yesterday. While you are at places like that, you're walking in these corridors that are carpeted, that have very nice carpets, very nice lights, that have sometimes they have very nice slow music. You go into elevators, you go down and up, yeah. You walk into your hotel room that looks really nice, fluffy beds, yeah. There's AC, you can control the temperature, you get, and you walk to the window and you have this very nice view of Kampala, yeah. You kind of forget that there is something going wrong in the country. And I was there for one night. You forget that there is a road that has humps like this. Was only the hump. You forget. I was there for one night. Yes, Felix Mani, I had a glimpse of a high life. For that one night, and I wasn't there the entire day. Nkugambia, I took my family, I checked them in, I went to work. His network took us off. I went to the gym, I went to bed. The next morning, we got up, went for breakfast, I left them there. I went to work. You get? Because we never say some nenzuka 12. You get? Sheraton is Sheraton back hotel mugiveeko bwetuba tukomeewo ya hotel mugiveeko. We back. Network is crappy, but I network is crappy, but I went to buy Starlink, and they told me Starlink is not yet active in you. That's what I was told. So I kept my money. Starlink yali bakola nnyo. Are we back, guys? Okay. So guys, I was saying, for the few hours I was at that hotel, I realized what it means to have abundance. I realized what it means to have abundance in a place where there is no abundance. Like someone has said, I had a glimpse of the high life. Easy. Nagenze for one night, and I saw that life is good in Uganda. And I saw that life is good in Uganda. I remember someone was saying, for someone to get out of their comfort zone, nagamba kanwane no muntu. Now I was there. I also remembered we twaberanga mikolo, and omugagga najja ku mukolo ate nga bakyabikola. Omugagga ajja ku mikolo, najja n'entebe ye, najja ne tenti ye, nga they don't want to mix with the poor. I saw it. You get? While I was there, I realized why people are out there not saying anything about anything that is going wrong, because for them they are comfortable. I could only afford that hotel for one night, you get. And I realized that if someone can afford to go to that hotel even once a month, the only time they will ever think that anything is wrong to go to anything, the person lives in Kololo, lives in Moyeng, and they own, lives in Chisasi, lives in and they own where they live. So all their activities take place in the center of the business district. Ebera kale center of the business district indala. But tabeere eno kawempe wa ava mugagga to the point that ebizibu ebiruma omuntu omulala yenna tasobola kumanya nti bizibu. That person can afford to drive that Raptor. Ogiraba Raptor eyo eyina ebinnya byetawulira teseerera. That person doesn't drive those Mazdas. Wadde zo Mazda namwe mumanyi abazivuga nabo baba ina sente. Eyo Mazda nange nsobola okugenda nenjeewola. But that person drives a car of 120 something, 150 something. That person, there is no way they feel there is a problem in the world that is unsolvable. They don't need the government to solve any of their. Taina kizibu kyasuubira nti government yeyina okukikolako. They don't even think the government needs to do anything. You get. Now imagine you remember of Brian White. Brian White said he lived at a hotel over for a year. Ngabeda mu hotel. In a hotel. A person that can afford to live in a hotel for a year, the only time they understand that there are problems, I think that's why when Brian White went to prison, yali Brian White asi papa yagenda mukomera n'agulira wadi za makomera zonna n'azigulira TV n'agula bichinga balya bulungi. You get. That's why when people like that, they are used to abundance. When they go to a place and there is something that needs to be done and they can do it to make themselves comfortable, they will do it. If they need to construct a road to make themselves comfortable, they will construct a road. If they need to build a hospital to make themselves comfortable, they will build a hospital. I think that's why yani ono SK Mbuga yali azimba eddwaliro. SK Mbuga yavayo mukomera yali azimba eddwaliro. Because they feel, you get, they feel like if the government is not doing this, I'll do it and get my own services at my own terms. Omwasisi ng'omunafuyiza nnyo to state that they can't afford the hotel you went to Arthur. Sina gwe nafuyiza. Simuna gwe nafuyiza, but I'm saying gye nagenze si hotel ya bei nnyo. I think you guys are thinking that it's true. It's not expensive, because I need you guys to understand that something that I experienced for one night, there are people that have homes that are like that. Like Haji Bakaruba, even problems in, you get. I think a friend of mine went for a workshop and stayed in such hotel for 3 days. We could not recognize him. What happened? There is a time I went to Nagenda workshop, your Ministry of Education. First ladies office, first ladies office. They have a hall. We have any workshops. I'm telling you, I think I know why people don't want to leave offices. Like again, nadda ewuwe, nadda mu office, nadda ewuwe, nadda mu office, naga kati wano mu office kufiirawo. Sijja kugifuluma. You get, guys, I think I understand why the people that have everything going well for them in this country have no complaint. I also realize why dealing with corruption, theft of public funds is going to be very hard to take away from this country. You get, like, I find that the salaries that people are supposed to be getting officially cannot get them the opulence they get when they're in the offices working with allowances. When they get a gap to steal and they know that they will not be dealt with, yeah, they will steal. It's not ethical, but they will still. Go muntu wabagenda ku workshop nasula in a 5-star hotel for a month nga bamwane per diem. Bwafuna gap wabbira nga alaba ne mukama wabba nga teri agenda mukwatako agenda kubba. And that's probably the reason. Yesterday I was with a gentleman. I inspected the car for him, the Vanguard. He lives in US. I was asking him, I asked for the people that have inspected Fonga Mubeda Bweru, you guys, I'm going to share the inspection stories tomorrow. So, experience, the inspection. So I was asking this gentleman, why do you come back to Uganda? I asked the late Seth Kagaba about it. I asked JK about it. Everyone that comes from abroad and they come back to this country, our country that we love so much, because we are here. I asked them, you have permanent residence there. You have citizenship there. Why are you coming back here? I asked, there is a lady called Nalongo. She came with her husband. I inspected a wish for them. And she was a very jolly woman, her husband too. And during the same period of time they killed, do you remember the couple they killed in Entebbe? That was during the same period of time. I asked Nalongo. She, her husband, and all her kids are, I think, Canadian citizens. I asked both of them, why do you get the urge to come back here? And they told me it is home. Like they don't have family here, apart from extended family. They own a house here that the extended family uses. You get? So I was asking them why. And they said, because East or West home is best. And of course, later on, I think about 3 months, 4 months later, Nalongo called me and said, Arthur, I remember the question you asked me. Now I'm asking myself why I come back here. Why was she thinking someone broke into their house and stole everything while they were in the house? Nebababa, TVs, laptops, they took everything. And she was asked, Arthur, now I'm thinking, Rwanda, you get, and she was saying, I have relatives here that I give everything, but still they steal from me. There are so many, like, you get, eh? So while I was in the car yesterday with that gentleman, I was the Alpha I family, you get, and he said there's things to complain about, but still there are things you can get you in Uganda here that you, and then he complained about the things that were going wrong. But I think the complaining makes Uganda home. Like, yeah, it's home, and this is what differentiates home from the US where I live. I thought to say someone who stays in low areas like Matuga. Guys, I say this every day. Nzembera Matuga. I am telling you, Matuga abantu ababera kujanga baina eka nga 10. Babera because je basobola okugula. Tukiriza amazima. Christian, nzembera Matugira genda gate nzembera dala deep. I don't feel bad about where I feel chimanyi. Sikwenafu yage mazima. Okujja ko nga jobera wagula eka 10. Nga wagula eka 10. Okisegere naye bwoba nga obeera Matuga nga wagula 10 ku 10 wagula 5 ku 10 tukirize je wali osobola ekyo nga tekiri mu kwekaza Christian. Nze simanyi ku kwerimba, simanyi kutandika kwegamba I don't know how to boost, I don't want to boost my ego. Nze Matuga nagenda kuba gye nali nsobola okugula. I would rather buy in Bukoto. Okisegera. So let's go back to the point. The point is, a lot of things are not going right, right? A lot of things are not going right. Gets you know what happens to people that complain about the things that are not going right. When someone that has things going right for them and they are living in opulence, ngabe yagala, they are not going to come and jeopardize their good life by talking about the things that they can solve with money. Ngebizibu byayina sente zaayina zibimala tasobola kujja kwogera until that one time, yeah, when they have a problem that their money cannot solve. I think that is why majority of the time people only come out to complain when the opulence goes out. You remember Robert Kabushenga? Robert Kaushinga is a phenomenal manager. He managed Vision Group so well. Nobody, I think, can manage Vision Group the way he did. Like, you see how they are struggling. They were market leader. A government TV was a market leader when he was CEO. You get. And when he was fired from office, dude was lamenting. He's lamenting up to now. He is lamenting because he doesn't have access to the things that he has had access to. Kakame Tekali started because of network, my brother. It's the network. Environment, that's it. The environment nga bwogira bateri musana obudde buzibye etto enfuufu nyingi kwegamba David eno ye Uganda. So you guys have seen a lot of people that come out to complain after the opulence they had was taken away. When people leave office, then they start complaining about the things that they can no longer get with the power they had. Ontegeera. So while I was in that, was actually bed racer. Your name is funny. How can I say it? You guys, I want to call it opulence, and that means you have a lot of money. There are so many problems you can solve with your money. There are so many good places you can go with your money. You can access good doctors in time. You can fight some battles because of the money or the power that you have. Tosobola kumanya nti Uganda ine ebizibu. Chovola, but majority of the time people complain about Mulago when they are referred there because olwala obulwadde bonga nakasero tebusobola. When they are referred there because olwala obulwadde bonga nakasero tebusobola ne kugamba gende Mulago. Obanga sente zo enakasero babusobola nenga sente zo Mulago. That's when you realize, oh, this is happening. You guys, there is always a division. I think it was in South Africa, where there was a picture that came up, satellite picture, where the very rich neighborhood was on one side and the very poor neighborhood was on the other side. And then I remembered an experience that a friend of bamala kumpa sente okubogerako Christian Murunga. Bwate bampadde sente. I'm not going to recommend a place that I paid a lot of money for. Boy, a friend of mine shared an experience. It wasn't nice. That there was someone that was sharing experience. Batwala omwana waabwe mu ddwaliro. And they told them that they needed 700,000 shillings to treat their child, or else the child will die. Bwe baba bagamba that your child needs 700,000 for treatment, or else he's going to die, the man called his village and told them, start preparing. We are bringing a dead body. Guy bamugamba betaga emitwalo 7 okujjanjaba mutabani waabwe obaafa omwana n'akuba mu kyalo n'abagamba onaagenda kufa mutegeke mutumira olumbe. You get what I'm saying? N'abagamba mutegeke tugenda kuziika. Like, it's not until you get into a situation like that that you realize that so we actually need good medical care for everyone. It's not until you hit a pothole in a car and your shock absorber just goes through over your shock mounting brakes, over your Z brakes, that you realize, there are some serious potholes here. That's why I think the people that made our constitution in Uganda made it so that MPs get very huge cars, that judges get very huge cars, that the president gets, instead of actually working on the roads, that they made sure that everyone that is in a government office gets a big car, instead of working on the roads. You guys get it? Instead of working on the roads, they said, you know what, an MP would get 300 million to buy a car. Instead of using, like, giving the MP 50 million, using the 200 from each MP to work on at least one stretch of a bit. I don't know if you get, because they were already living that opulent lifestyle, they were driving small cars, they realized the small cars were giving them a bad experience. And instead of building the roads, they said, you know what, the next time I think we should give ourselves big cars so that we don't live like those poor people. I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying. That instead of reading research papers locally and solving the problem, they said, you know what, our MPs, our engineers, instead of getting engineers that have done things from other countries to come and teach our engineers, they said engineers will go to Dubai for a month at a workshop to learn how engineering is done. They already have solutions here, but they will not apply the solutions they have now. They would rather go for a workshop where the engineers are going to have fun for a month. You guys get it? Okay, I reflected a lot. I think I overthink. I'm an overthinker. But while I was there, I realized that problems here, there are so many problems that will never get solved. I also realized why countries like the US develop, Britain develop, because they change their prime minister every now and then. A prime minister that has been experiencing the things that are going on comes in. I realized why Uganda, they bring someone that has been experiencing what other local people, the normal people are experiencing. They give him power, and that person changes something that they think should be changed. It's really hard for a rich person to know what's really happening. That's why when they die, kids suffer. Exactly. I think everyone should experience. That's why the next king of Uganda is raised in the normal society. He grows up with a normal family, and when it's time to become a king, he knows exactly what he needs to do for the local people for their lives to get better. I think while I was there, I realized why it's good for you people, especially you corporate guys that get a lot of money. It's nice for you people to not have everything. It's just proper, because then tajja kubalaatira abantu. He won't think that opulence is normal. It was an experience. One night like this, I realized there is a time I was doing Uber. My last like month of doing Uber, I went to Ruzira. A girl ordered for Uber, and I'm the one that went there. She came from a fence where she was guarded by the army. I think she just escaped, and she was giving the army guy that was guarding her money, like a tip, I think, for him to not report her. And I drove her, and I don't really remember what we talked about, but I remember what it was like driving her. She gave me a very big tip. Kugamba laga sente zibasabye ku Uber oba azigulamu ki? Ampe emitwalo 5. The trip was 10. Ena nenjisigaza as a tip. And as an Uber driver, a 40,000 tip for a trip of 10K is big. It's big. Now, who is calling me? A 40,000 tip is big. But I realized there are so many kids like that. Abatalinyanga ko wantu wali ttaka. Nga bamuvuga mu moroka ne bamujja ewabwe mu kikomera. They take them to, let's say, Acacia for a movie. Emoroka ne balinda ne tokoto okuva lubazze paka bavayo okulaba movie oba paka bavayo okulya ice cream, ne batuula mu moroka ne bazaayo mu kikomera. Ngera batuula mu moroka ne bajja mu kikomera nga tebamanyira ttaka we lifaanana. Ne emoroka ne batwala probably ku airport ne balinya helicopter ne batwala ku ssomero in Nairobi. There are people like that. People like that are not going to solve our problems. But I realize that while people, local people, poor people are voting, they vote people like that. Bwe balonda MP, tebagala MP mwavu. Bagala musajja, tebalonda muntu mwavu genda fuka MP bateeseza. Balonda omuntu already nga mugagga agende mu parliament. era bwe baba balonda LC5 tebaagala LC5 ali nabo wano ku ground, baagala omuntu already omugagga yababeera LC5. And I think they do that because they want this LC5 guy, because he's already rich, to use his salary to give to them, to pay for their kids' school fees, instead of actually taking someone that might make their community better. They vote for someone that is already rich to go and enjoy more opulence in those offices. And somehow the local people have beaten themselves down to the level that they think they are worth nothing. Ontegere bo bennyini tebakkiriza mu batabani baabwe n'abazzukulu baabwe bagamba oyo agenda kuteesa biki nno. Bakkiriza mu bazzukulu n'abatabani they are voting for rich people because they think their own kids don't have the brains. My God. Those rich people's kids, they're not going to solve the problems of the poor person because they don't know the nze kubo ngenda vuga kilomita musanvu ez'ettaka. Omwana abadde abeera wano, what can I say, omuntu nga tulonda LC5 bwe tulonda omwana w'omugagga ng'abadde ennyumba yawe eri mabega wa kizimbe kino, tamanyi nti waliyo abantu abavuga kilomita 7 okugenda ewaka. Bo bamanyi okuvuga kilomita 7 boogenda kubijja. After we have honestly failed our country, we don't need to travel to other countries to benchmark how things. We don't going for conferences in Dubai to solve our problems. They already know what problems we have and they know, so they have solutions. Arthur, the government yagala boogera ebyo byoyogera tebaagala bagezi, so kyemanyi banatera abyenjogera kati bisobola kunnoonyesa. Bino byenjogera olwaleero bwe bannoonya muganda wange nja kufuluma eggwanga ngende, because byenjogera biyamba ffe ate nabo baagala tweyambe. My guys, it was eye-opening. I think I need to thank my kids for being on me okubatwalako mu hotel. Like, if you don't visit those expensive hotels, like when you visit those expensive hotels, when natuka mu hotel abantu already nga abantu ndanganze atalina sente zisasula hotel, it means the local Ugandans don't have money to go to those hotels. Ontegeera. Of course, now in a way I think I'm a little bit popular, so all the waiters, all the stewards, abasajja bonna baali bammanyi. After our people are just brainwashed, thinking that people who come from humble backgrounds cannot lead them such a pity. It's very bad. It's very bad. I'm going to give an example, and for people that want to take it out, please don't take this thing out of context. This is my personal experience. When during elections, I was talking to my grandmother, and this is my personal experience, guys. I was talking to my grandmother, and she told me nti Bobi Wine talina magezi gafuga ggwanga. I felt bad, but I didn't feel bad for Bobi Wine. I felt bad for me. And I'm sure some of it, most of you guys, your parents told you Bobi Wine talina magezi gafuga ggwanga. And I'm sure some of you guys think that mwena mulowooza Bobi Wine talina magezi gafuga ggwanga. I don't feel bad for Bobi Wine. Bobi Wine has buli ali ku live kuno, Bobi Wine akusinga emirundi 10. Buli ali ku live kuno, and don't take it as an insult. Tuchimanyi era mu mutima gwo naawe okimanyi. I feel bad. I felt when I was talking to my grandmother, I felt bad for myself, not for Bobi Wine, and I did not feel bad for my grandmother as well. My grandmother is old, but I felt bad for myself. Do you know why I felt bad for myself? I felt bad that my grandmother believes that Bobi Wine, who at 30 years achieved more than any of her family members has ever achieved, and for the past like 4 generations. And I know her family. Ontegeera, Bobi Wine achieved at 30 what her family ku side ya mama we ne side ya taata we ng'omala kubagatta okutuukako ku bye yakola, I know Bobi Wine and I know her family. And she's telling me that this young man cannot be president of Uganda. Do you know why I felt bad? I did not feel bad for Bobi Wine or my grandmother. I felt bad for myself. I felt bad for myself. The Bobi Wine. Sisobodde kola Bobi Wine bye yakola. Nze nga Arthur. Wendi nsingo obukulu we yatuukira nga akoze bye nakakola. Alika bye nakakola yabikola nga. And of course there is luck, but also there are people that are more lucky than Bobi Wine, but have not gotten to the level where Bobi Wine got. And I felt bad because in Zenga Arthur, see, like, nebo tubala luck, nebo tubala business acumen, nebo tubala networking, nebo tubala resilience. Bobi Wine yansinga ku myaka jange nti yakikuba n'akikuba. He achieved more than what so many people of his age at that age could achieve. And someone is telling you, omuntu atuse at that level of achievement tasobola kufuga gwanga. I felt bad for myself. Nti nze jjajja wange tasobola na kumpa bwa RC1. Bw'aba tasobola kuba Bobi Wine bwa president, nze tasobola kumpa na bwa RC1. You guys get why I felt bad for myself? Nti nze ate kati nze obusiru bwendiko era lulwe omuntu nga maama wo atutuuza n'akugamba nti Bobi Wine tasobola, kati gwe tasobola kuwa na bwa LC1, toyina magezi, totegera oli kimpemempeme. Like we have katuve ku Bobi Wine kuba Bobi Wine asibya. Let's come back. We have reached tuli brainwashed. Aite kitandise kati. It started with nga attention data waiters jebawa abazungu restaurant mwalimu abadugavu abalala, and some of people from humble backgrounds becoming somebody are over. Today it's almost impossible to rise from Chana Mukaka and become someone. Very hard. Era people like this Ateni Bamuitani, that kid, he's a very small boy. He's MP now. Zambari okumanyanga, we have been brainwashed. Someone who doesn't even have a home yajja mumma lukaga ne bamubuza kati Zambari yesasula mmeka. We have been brainwashed to think that it's only rich people that can think for us. And the rich people, mutegedde bwenga se, the rich people don't know what we are going through. Mulaba gyenvuga gyennyira abagagga tebabeera yeeno. Tukimanyi okujja kuba omugagga ali mu retirement obanga alinayo eka nga 10. Ontegeera. Arthur, we have cross-generation hatred from elders. Majority of them think nothing good can come out of a youth. We are generally disoriented. Maybe she can give you a local defense. Jajja wange asobola kumpoba era bwa local defense. Ate no bwa local defense anteekako omuntu andabirize soonoona. You get it? I felt bad, but I didn't. I tell you guys will be surprised. Nti waliwo abavubuka abakkiriza nti, and I keep mentioning Bobi Wine because guys, let's accept Bobi Wine achieved more than people his age could ever achieve without stealing. Nti genere oba yatunda njaga oba yakola ki okitegeera kuba n'abatunda enjaga gye bali abalala bangi. Tukkirize nti Bobi Wine yakola kinene nnyo ku myaka gye ya achievinga kingi nnyo. Okitegeera, he achieved achiever. Naye bw'abanga maama wakutuuza na kugamba omuvubuka oyo talina kyayina ne Zambali, even Zambali. Guys, did you know nti oli omuvubuka yani ono one oyo guy yagamba yasasula million lukaga mu kadi ne batajimwa ne bajiwa Zambali. Do you guys know that Zambali yali avuga kibina bwe yafunira kadi agenda ofuna kadi okuyingira obwe yali avuga kibina. He was driving a Toyota Corona 19 nze nange sikyagisobola. Those three people they went against all odds. Arthur, I had an elder who could even stop me from holding a TV remote, claiming I was going to spoil the TV. Guys, tuliubi. But other saying that someone that has achieved more than what both families on her side have ever achieved, tasobola kufuga gwanga. For me, it was about me. It was about me. There is a lot of our families tebatukiririzamu yadde n'akatono. Chokatenga, some of us, our families expect us to give them money. They also expect that we should have achieved more than what they achieved in their lifetime. Nti bazaddebo abatasobola kugula plot ku sente zaabwe abamu ne nyumba ze babeera mbasubira bikola wabula tebakusuubira nti goyina ekyamagezi osobola okukolera eggwanga lyo, basigala balonda abakadde. It's sad. Guys, tulina engeri tugase conversation etuukayo eyo naye nga naye tubadde tulina otuukayo because we have a mindset like that here. Ate ekibuuzo kya leero kinnyumidde. Nammwe okimanyi, do you know there are people tuveeyo today mu experience yange. Guys, while I was at that hotel, I realized that I cannot solve some problems, and there are problems I will never solve. Enguudo embi nze nga Arthur ne bwe ndikola ki zigenda kusigalawo because abantu abalowoleza enguudo embi tebagenda kubeera mu nguudo mbi ne bw'olikola otya. Omuntu member wa parliament alina okulondola sente zo gye ziraga ne bw'aba we Nakaseke ng'ogyeko olutamaguzi ku bayi gy'abadde abeera, ne bw'aba we Nakaseke tabeera Nakaseke, Nakaseke alina y'amaka abeera Kololo. Olwayingira parliament ne yeewola miliyoni 7 n'agula ennyumba emuyenga. Kati bwamusampa tagenda kwetaaga kudda Nakaseke, tagenda kumanya nguudo zo nti mbi ne bw'olikola ki, tajja kumanya nti enguudo mbi at any one point. Kakitegeeza enguudo ze Nakaseke tebagenda kuzikola. I think it's only Balaam that is trying to show in government. It's only Balaam that is trying to show what is going wrong right now. Tajja kumanya. Kati enguudo zino ez'ematugga tebagenda kuzikola. Tujja mala emyaka 20 ng'oluguudo lw'envuga olw'ettaka lwa ttaka. Because Minister wa Works tabeera Matugga. Minister wa Works bw'ajja Matugga abazze kuziika. Kati yakyakiraba nga gye bateeka ebijja talaba nga bantu nti wali ababeera yeeno. Tamanyi nti abantu bagulayo ne puloti. You get, tamanyi nti abantu bagulayo ne Matugga ne bazimbayo. Kati ezo enguudo the only way for you to solve problems is to make a lot of money. Nawe Matugga ofuuleyo kyalo country house. Most MPs don't go back to their constituencies until the next campaign. Exactly. And I think that's why some MPs that have tried to solve problems nga bwolaba yani ono gaayo ne yajjako amasannyalaze g'ekyalo, yani ono gaayo ne yakolima ennyo Nsibambi. Do you know the reason why Nsibambi disconnected his power? He was better. Bikolera bosi bye baagala ebyansiba byera akola ono munyago wabiye nga bagwide imoroka bya kasasiro. Bana Uganda tebaagala ebyo parliament. Chances are very high into jagendo kwesanga nga nkere tanyi mu family ye tebamusupportinga nga bachalibe be bagamba chali wafa agende tunaffe tunayitira waawo. And these things happen but people don't talk about them. I'll tell you, there is a relative of mine. I went back to UMI. I was going to postgraduate marketing. And I told my relative today that I am going to study. The next day, my relative posted on her WhatsApp status that abantu basoma ebintu tebibayamba oba basomera ki. She put on her status that someone we respect in our family. Nateka ku status age. You guys, we have self-hate. We have a lot of self-hate. And it's bad. But I think the whole point here is, guys, abagagga abali obulungi tebagenda kuyamba baavu. Era if you come from a poor family, you're your family's hope. You are your family's hope. Era nze, one thing I've seen, buli woli kati olaba nze abaana abange ngenda kulwanirira abaana abange kuba jjajjo wange tasobola kumpa bwa LC2 nekyo nkimanyi. Ngenda lwanirira abaana abange babe bulungi because seri ayinza balwanirira. In our families, I realized fedda twalina omukyala yali akola mu president's office. I think she was in president's office. She was rich. In my family still, there's a bit of my family where they have this lady who is big in the army. She comes with her family. She comes with Eddie Tunes Churchill. She comes with her tent. She comes with her chairs. She basically comes with an entire home. Era family ye wadde baba baze ku mukolo gwa family ye yefumbira. You get it? They come katinga wonoga nti the families bayina olumbe emmere y'olumbe gyeri naye ajjanire butenti bwe ne bateeka eri mbitooke family ye neefumba emmere ye ne family ye gyeenaalya. Kati that family will never know nti emmere y'omukolo gye baafumbye oba mbitongereze ku ssente z'emmere next time emmere ebeere ennungi. They will never know. So while you guys go, now if you're surviving, you need to fight for you. You need to fight for your kids. You need to fight for your generation. Or in a generation yeyo okujjako the rich families beyagaliza. That's one thing I know. I've inspected cars for guys that come from rich families, and ogenda okuwulira nga beekubira amasimu gundi emotoka gye wagula stuff like that, ng'owulira conversations ebalimu. But I've inspected for people that come from family like mine, tebagala nabeewaabwe bamanye nti agenda kugula mmoloka. They don't even want their family to know that they are going to buy a car. It's very rare. It's very rare to find people nga bava from poor families, nga they are the person. Guys, let me reflect. Omuntu avuga Range Rover ngeye tuyiseeko goloza agenda manya ddi nti ekkubo bbi. Era agenda diyitamu omulundi gumwalimu air suspension. The worst that could happen to them is that their airbag would die. Abenga alina okugula airbag ya miliyoni emwazzeemu shooko ye emulukeddemu ewoome. Ate nenajjayo omulundi gumu buli mwaka. Olaba abantu owa taxi gyalaze. Waliyo ka shortcut kagenda ne kabasuula ku Semuto Road. Bwe bayita ku Semuto Road ne bagenda waliwo kagundi akayite katalemwa ne bagenda ne bagwa wali ku shere eri maaso. That oyo jam gwe tuyiseemu abaamu avoidinze. Era the people that know the road bayitaawo. So anyway guys, I understand that some of these conversations they are taken as political, but my conversation is not political in any way. My conversation is meant to share my experience and what my experience made me reflect on. I realized why every rich family abaana baabwe be bakula babalukira mangu bagende ebweru baba tebafunde mulimu gwa government. Balwana nnyo omwana wagende ebweru bw'aba ava ebweru bamuko. You look at all the ministers have served in government for long. Abaana be baba bweru paka opportunity y'amaanyi bwejja wano akomawo nga CEO in one of the government parastatals, akomawo nga MD, okitegera akomawo they are heading some big department in government because they know outside government it's hard to make it. I think for me nze ng'omuntu agenzeeko ebweru because I am traveled and I started traveling at a very young age. So kati gwe manya ensi ezisinga mwezi mulimu abali ebweru nagituukamu. And as a well-traveled person, I realized that the only reason, actually, all the times that I've traveled, one of the things I missed here was matoke, goka. And probably the other thing I love about my country is that you can own land. You can own land here. It's one of the things that is beautiful about Uganda, is that ogula plotting yonga government esobola kuveri ne maraga kusinikirako mannyo. But I hear that that's also going to be taken, that the government is going to bring a proposal where all land belongs to the government. And I'm sure when that proposal comes to parliament, it will pass because the government leads. When that proposal passes, I am one of the people that is going to leave the country. Obanga China, to China kakowano. And I think land is one of the things that people appreciate. But they can't. But you guys, I think you guys have seen the thing with China, is that in China, when you buy a house, you own the land for only 70 years. And after 70 years, the land goes back to the government. You get, I think even in the US, you don't really own the land. And that's why I think motivational speakers in the US are telling you, don't buy a home. It's a depreciating asset, because once your lease or the land of the land, I am not really sure, but that's what I hear. When in Uganda, it still makes sense to buy land. Ntinze ata newe maneka plot ka million nyakange. Era bwe ntuka ngo bwavu bunnumye ne bwe bakaba nsaze ne nkatunda 3 zange mweziri mu kaplot yako. So tewali nsonga lwaki mpangisa. Nasobola okugula akaplot kange netekamu akayumba kange. Nabagamba nze nyumba gye nsulamu eri wala naye okugipangisa Kampala wano mbanyi na gipangisa million nga 3.5 sizirina kambeere ewala. You get nti mbeera wala naye ewala gye mbeera gwe okupangisa ennyumba gye mbeeramu oba weetaaga million 3 okubeera mu nnyumba gye mbeeramu. Kati sikyasobola kupangisa. Era ne bana mambulumono kagola bagagende eno ennyumba ze babeeramu okugipangisa sente zigipangisa tazirina. So when I see like motivational speakers telling young men tozimba so kasimanya okole business ya Uganda ngeri fragile, yagudde no sente nezitwala zonna. Oyo wa Benz bonna nga bula babeera eno ennyumba oyo wa Benz gyabeeramu ene Matugga tasobola kugipangisa Kampala. Do you guys want to see what it looks like before we turn? Tugenda abo batunaayita naye kyemanyi grade yagenze eyita buli wamu erera sigenda gendayo munansonyi wakankyuke. Let me go back erera manya amakubo gaffenga manyi grade yakayitamu tijja gendayo. Let me go the route. The one thing I like about my home is that nina amakubo mayitirivu. Nina like 5 routes that I can use to get to my home. So you guys get the gist. Nkwagaza Matugga ane wowe ina sente zigule kyanja lwaki tugula kyanja agundi Kasuku yagamba Matugga tebabeerayo Kasuku amanyira. I wonder how some people in Kampala think. You rent a house of 2 million plus but you have no plot. The money you spend in rent after 3 years tesibaluma. Tebamanya nti ba motivational speaker babagamba live comfortably. Babagamba nti wali nsonga lwaki ovuga kilomita 2 ogende ewo. Okitegeera. Nze sobola nze samanyi nze okupangisa ennyumba gye mbeeramu nze. Ng'ate ennyumba gye mbeeramu nagitandika ogibeeramu nga kifuluka gwe nawe yingire ekkubo. Emmoloka bajja gita engeri gy'eri Benz. Kati wane ekigogwa I think waliwo abantu babiri from this channel abayina y'amayumba wane ekigogwa naye abamu tebanatandika. Abantu abasinga ene Matugga bazimbayo naye tebanatandika beerayo batyayo. Athanze omu ku bantu abagumu abakkiriza okubeera e Matugga, nze omu ku bagumu. So guys, anyway, me, when I visited that hotel, I realized I need to take my kids to a place like that at least once a year. Idaka box naka creating nze ate nange kye nalabye gwe kye nalabye abaana baffe mbalaba nga bwe tubazadde. Mulaba ababoda bali abasirusiru, abaana baffe mbalaba nga bwe tubazadde. Do you guys see, buli azadde omwana mutegekere kyagenda okukula oba mutegekere okugenda e Bulaaya. Bw'oba tosodde mutegekera bizinesi z'amaanyi oba totegese mutegekere agenda ate ng'agenda kukola mulimu gwa magezi. Personally, I don't follow everything that motivational speakers communicate. Bali bakozese nnyo, bakozesa nnyo ensobi ate nga ye akugamba okukola ebintu nga ye tabikola. Awoza tozimba nga ye yazimba. Okitegeera, awoza tozimba mizigo nga ye yagizimba. Nekati proposal ya government, when the proposal of the government is being comes and they say all land belongs to government, yeah? What are you people going to do? The only thing you have is land. We worry about of course, some of you guys are learning, you're investing elsewhere, but some of you guys, some families actually, not just individuals, some families without land, they have nothing. Like some families, the only reason they are still respected anywhere is because they have land. Yeah, but we love Uganda regardless. We love Uganda. It's a beautiful country. You can actually make the very good. And guys, this guys, me, I'm not against anyone. But of course, simanyi nakumanya naye ze bwenyizangayo omuntu ajampe sente mu bintu byange. It gave a hotel, by the way. It very good experience. I think that's something I want to do at least once a year, as long as I'm in Uganda. Once a year, but twaleko imu hotel y'amaanyi babeereyo. And of course, there is something else that I learned while I was there. That hotel was expensive, but the finishing was work. Taira abazikulu babazikola batya, tairo finishing wa tairo mubi, finishing wa rangi mubi, and it was very expensive, yeah. Nga bojjamu ebintu bino bibateekamu obuliri obulungi, TV ennungi, nojjamu AC, nojjamu ebikapeti. The finishing is bad. I just realized that my finishing at home is nice. Muzikirize mbasibule nga sisomye manya. I'll see you tomorrow morning in abanyumiza inspection izo naze enkoze. And I did inspection for someone that is really dear to this channel. I think I could not answer. Ekiro olumu nezikiza nesikwata masimu. Then he called me again today morning to tell me Arthur natuse bulungi. We bought that 2-liter Impreza. It gave him 16 kilometers per liter on the highway. So guys, the people that are buying 1.6-liter Imprezas, please stop. The 1.6-liter Impreza is weak. One of the reasons lwakisevuga kubo lino paka eno kubo geno gali smoother na ngomabi ne gali better than really empitamu every day. But the reason why I don't come all the way to this side is because abantu kuno bavuga bubi, and it's mostly government vehicles and single vugo bubi. So it's one of the reasons why I don't come all this way. Nenge eno obada smooth atenga ovugira all the same time and adala uli jambo tuyisembo abatali ewe. Yeah, I'm glad, guys, for the people that find the broadcast omulabo wa government, the people that find this broadcast entertaining or educative. I am glad that I contribute to that. Now if now go contributing obulamu tubutwale bwetutyo. The people that recommend me, there is a gentleman that has been talking to me for the past couple of days for inspection. Lero ayogedde nange namana ngamba Arthur mukyala wange una ayagala kwogera mukyala we nangamba Fajebali nze nalemedde ku Mr. Paka bwakkiriza tukozese for inspection. So the guys that recommend me for inspection, I may not mention names, I may forget to call you to say thank you. I am very bad at that, guys. I'm very bad, pardon me. I'm very bad at that, but I appreciate, guys. Gwe kyoba omanya siyitawo bwe nnyina okukyamira. Oza saayiseewo nno. Saayiseewo. Gana amafuta agali eno nga sigamanyi nti gabeerayo. Ate ndaba sinnayitawo. Olaba bwe nali nzimba ewange, nali sirina ssente zizimba kikomera. Naye nzija eno nga nvuga Corolla yange namukadde twajja ne Sekatawa. Ne tunoonya ebiwempe. Ne tubisiba ku bbaati lya Corolla namukadde. Ne tugenda ne tukola ekikomera ky'ebiwempe. Wange jjukira nayina emmoloka yange nga njagala giprotectinga. At that time nali nkyavuga Primo old model. Ne tugula ebiwempe. Actually the first time when nanona ebiwempe eno najja na mama Abani nga tunoonya ebiwempe. Wanona obuza tewabadde wa accident nga tunoonya ebiwempe bye tukola muki ekikomera. When you guys, if you found people that have built their azimbye nga akoze sente ye mpola nazimbe nyumba. Some of the people bye bayiseemu nga bayingira amayumba gaabwe muyinza n'okuseka. So kati nze nyumba yange weetuuse omuntu eyandaba nga nakagiyingira bw'agiyingiramu kati atandika okuzimba bw'aba abadde tannatandika addamu nnyo amaanyi n'atandikirawo okuzimba. Kambayiseeko wano kandaba basibuze nnyinzo bambuze eno gyendi mubalaba bakama baffe anti kasaba kuba oyo tamanyi bye tuyitamu. Tamanyi kyokka ate bwe tunaaba tulonda majority of you guys mujja kulonda mutabani we anti mulaba yasobola okuteeseza eggwanga wano waleka waddewo accident yasobola okutegeerera eggwanga nga mwe mulaba batabani bammwe bo tebamalaako. I felt bad when my grandmother told me Bobi Wine tasobola. I felt, but I didn't feel bad for Bobi Wine. Bobi Wine tasobola kuddamu kwavuwala. Tasobola. Ne network zokka zaalina n'abaana be tebasobola kudda bazzukulu bajjajja wange we bali. Tebasobola because of their father. Actually ne baganda ba Bobi Wine abamu balinyedde ku ye n'abaana babaganda ba Bobi Wine abamu balinyedde ku ye kwegamba the change that guy has caused is too much. But of course we hate ourselves. Fete tweyagala abantu avudde mu family enjavu mukimanyi ogule mmoroka ekifo ky'okukongratulatinga ne baga sente ndo waziguzeemu emmoroka lwaki tebwaguzeemu ente. Wabaddewo accident guys. There is that car kansembere mugirabe eyo emmoroka eyo mugiraba mmoroka ki eyo erabikanga Platts. Eno emmoroka Platts yeetomedde n'emmoroka ki yo bagitomedde neewe. I'm going to put the windows down in Barage. Beetomedde na mmoroka yo Platts eweddewo mugiraba eyo ye eweddewo alina ttema nteme katulabe beetomedde na mmoroka ki. Let me show you. Eyo ye eweddewo ogiraba oba bawonya ababaddemu. Yeetomedde nani? Zeetomedde bwe ziti? Zeetomedde zidda mu maaso? Ono abadde ava Kampala ng'ayisa dde eno ng'adda Kampala. Mukitegedde ne kawundo yiino ne kawundo yiiyo ne Prado yiino nanga abaana boogera kati eno TX ya gavumenti oli abadde ava Bombo waka Platts mbu n'ayisa Prado 2 n'ayisa trailer 2 bw'ayisiza trailer 2 ng'abadde ava Bombo n'asanga TX eyo TX ne beetomera ne TX bwe beetomedde ne TX ne hari akawundo weerugwiriddemu kati and guys ebiseera ebimu ngenda n'enjogera ne mulowooza oba naddala ku TikTok aba TikTok balowooza mbalaata like omuntu avuga Platts ya milioni 10 lwaki opapa we wano wenkyamira omuntu avuga Platts ey'emiliyoni katuviira ambulance omuntu avuga platts ye million 10 guys abantu abavuga emoroka is and some people when byogera bwento balowooza obala kuba Arthur wasobola okugulayo kamoroka akapya omuntu avuga platts ye million 10 oba opapa kulagawa wootasobola genda luli ogenda kugula moroka kye yebbeeyi gy'otasobola kugula guys kambasibulire wano network egenda tandika otusummo ne bwe naali agadde obbatwala. Guys, I wish a very lovely evening. Enchakumachanja banyumiza inspection. Please recommend me for inspection so that the channel keeps going on. And I'd like to see you guys at the convention. Mwena ngawe muli ku live abali e Kampala at least. Bwatu li Kampala tekiganda kusasulira yo muntu. Kyambadde Huntington ye yasasulira taatawe last year. Taatawe najja mu convention era taatawe yangamba ne guno omwaka waali ajja kujja. So boboina oli toli Kampala ngo gidi emitwalo 3 gyokka. Bobo ina gosoro sasura convention musasure convention yaje tunyumirwe ana kunyumiza. Guys, I wish a very lovely evening. Ciao.